Hi, this is Miss Hall, and let's talk about representation of color, specifically RGB. Color representation goes red, green, blue. How much red you're going to turn on, how much green, and how much blue. So we'll start with 0, 0, 0. If you've turned on no red, no green, no blue, this color is black. And at the other extreme, if you've turned on red, green, and blue to the maximum, and the maximum is 255 if we're speaking in decimals. This is as high as we can turn the colors. This, if we've turned everything on, is white. Now let's talk about some in-betweens you should know. You should know if we turn on the first number to the maximum, 255.00, we have turned on red. The intensity of red is up as high as it will go. Also, if we just turn on the middle element, we have turned on green. And the last one is blue. So in addition to knowing black, white, red, green, and blue, you need to know the shading. So I'm going to make a darker color versus a brighter or lighter color. For example, mention that 255.00 is the highest intensity of red. That is the brightest red you can represent. If you want to go a little bit darker, what you do is you start turning down red. So darker than 255.00, if you want a darker shade of red, would be, say, 100.00. You can go even darker. So as you take away a number, that shading gets darker, and as you add a number, it gets brighter. So let's say I had a darker green, let's say 150.0. So it's a darker shade of green. If I wanted to make it lighter, if I was asked to make it lighter or brighter, I would add to 150, let's say 200 is brighter than 150.0. Let's try a binary representation of color problem. So the color to match on the left is represented by the binary RGB values, and it gives you numbers. Convert each color component into decimal in order to match the color. So remembering back to binary, any place values, we're going 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is the ones place, 2 4s place, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. So for red, I've got 1, 1, 1, 0, 1. So I'll be adding up 128 plus 64 plus 4 plus 1, which is 68, 69, 128 plus 69 equals, so it's going to be a 7, carry the 1, 9, 197. So I'll be turning on the red value to 197. And now for green, I need to turn on 1, 1, 1, 1. So I'll be taking 3 plus 8, which is 11, plus 32. So 32 plus 8 plus 2 plus 1, 43. So I'll be turning the green value up to 43. And now for blue, I'll be turning on 64 and 1. So blue, I will be making 65. And once I toggle those to the right number, I will have my answer. Okay, last skill of this video is hex representation of color. The color to match on the left is represented by the hexadecimal RGB value 1C4A A4. Convert each color component into decimal in order to match the color. So when we're using hexadecimal, the first two places are red, then green, then blue. So I'm going to split this up. 1C is my red, 4A is my green, and A4 is blue. This is in hexadecimal, so remember the first place is the ones, and the second place is the 16th place value. So now let's go through. In this reds, so in the 16th place value, I have a 1. So I'm going to take 1 times 16 plus C times 1. Let me make myself some notes. Okay, so A is 10, because we can use our decimal numbers to go from 0 to 9, but now 10 I need a letter. So A is 10, B is 11, C is 12, and that's as high as I need for this one. Okay, so 1 times 16 is 16, plus 12 times 1 is 12, and my red value is 28. Now we'll do green. So I have 4 in the 16th place value, so 4 times 16 plus A, which is 10, 10 times 1. 4 times 16 is 64, plus 10 is 74. And now my blue. In my 16th place value, I have an A, which represents 10, so 10 times 16 plus 4 times 1, which is 160 plus 4, which is 164. So lastly, I need to toggle all those elements. Red is 28, green is 74, and blue is 164.